He's waited for this night. He's waited for me. I've waited for him.
Jamie Lee Curtis reprises her role as Laurie Strode as Michael Myers creeps back into theaters 40 years after the original horror movie Halloween. And movie writer Mike Scott with NOLA.com, the Times-Picayune, is here with a preview of that. So this is different, you were saying, than all of the other Halloween movies that followed the original Halloween.
Right, it's different in a few ways. It took them 40 years, but Universal decided to try at least to make a sequel worthy of that seminal slasher classic from 1978. It's somewhat confusingly also titled Halloween, but what they did here is they threw out the 9 other sequels to Halloween. So it pretends all the previous sequels didn't exist. They brought on an accomplished director in David Gordon Green, and then the masterstroke, of course, is bringing back Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode, the babysitter who was tormented by Michael Myers in that original film. And the critical consensus here is it's a pretty good slasher picture, a pretty good horror film. It's getting some criticism for being a little bit of a slow build, but it pays off in a third act that's worthy of the series. It's got a lot of references to that first one, a lot of humor woven throughout. The one word of warning would be, don't expect a movie as good as that first one, because there's only ever one first, but one that finally deserves to be in the franchise.
So it is not the 11th worst one of the series?
No, I think this one will be remembered as the best one, the best sequel.
The sequel, okay, all right. So then there's a political...
It's a low bar, though, I have to say, the sequels.
There's a political comedy called The Oath.
The Oath, yeah, this one's interesting. A much smaller film. It's only playing at the Elmwood Palace and Canal Place. It's executive produced by the same people behind Get Out and Black Klansman. And like those films, this one is a political satire, but it's wrapped in a violent comic farce.
Wait, hold on, I'm sorry, it's what?
It's wrapped in a violent comic farce set in, here's the setup, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's set in an alternate present in which the U.S. government requires all citizens to sign a loyalty oath. And as you can imagine, some people have no problem signing it right away, but other people are a little squeamish about the idea of a federally mandated patriotism, right? And so you can imagine what it does as far as a rift in the political climate. You can also imagine what it does, though, at Thanksgiving dinner, the day before the oath is to be signed. And that's what this film imagined. It follows the story of one family torn apart at Thanksgiving dinner. And really, what it does, the momentum waxes and wanes in the movie. There's some laughs, most of it from the outrageousness of the situation. But really what it does, that I think that makes it work so well, is it holds up a mirror to the current political climate and asks, do you see what this is doing to us? Do you like where this is headed? Do you see where this is going? And I think those are questions that are worth asking and pondering.
You make me want to see it.
It's not a bad movie.
Because I didn't really care to see it when you started.
Well, there you go. I should get a commission for that.
Maybe. And then my sense is you've got kind of a nice little spot in your heart for this documentary science fair.
Yeah, the previous 2 movies we talked about are kind of meant to jangle the nerves. This one works at opposite ends. It's a National Geographic documentary that follows 9 teams from around the world as they compete in the International Science and Engineering Fair, which is sort of the Super Bowl for science nerds, for high school science nerds. And these kids are doing real science. There are no baking soda volcanoes here. They're like contributing to society. These are really impressive kids, but the important thing here is they're just kids, and so that youthful energy and enthusiasm and charm shines through. This movie's surprisingly funny, and it's just a pleasure to spend some time with these kids. And if you're anything like me, you'll smile your way through this movie, and at the end of it, you'll kind of go, we're going to be all right after all. The future's going to be okay after all. It's only playing at the it's playing at the Broad Theater all week, but it's also playing twice as part of the New Orleans Film Festival, which is in full swing all around the city, and you can read more about the festival at NOLA.com.
Okay, well, it sounds like if you see the first 2 movies, you might need this one.
Just as an antidote.
Take a deep breath as an antidote. All right. Gotcha, Mike. Thanks. Mike Scott.